Hello everyone, welcome to Rob's, Rogues, and the Batman Universe.net. Today we're taking a look at the DC Comics Multiverse from Mattel, the Batman vs. Superman figure, of course, Wonder Woman, with Collect and Connect Grapnel Blaster Replica. Again, like in Batman's video, I was kind of saying I'm kind of surprised that they went with a replica piece, but that's kind of the new thing now. People want replicas and props, and so hey, it is what it is, and I'm going to be the sucker that's probably going to go out and try and get all the pieces. So, I wouldn't talk about the box too much in Batman's review. We've already kind of seen it, but it's a new packaging with the red and the black here, signifying Mattel's, new line of figures. I'm kind of surprised they didn't put the other multiverse line on the back of it. The same read-up as before, but we have artwork here of Gal Gadot sporting a cloak or a cape of some type, so I'm assuming she's probably going to wear it for probably a brief, 30 seconds in the film, but that's a nice rendering. There we see the other figures in the wave. That's exactly the same as before, and I don't know who the other figures are in the wave other than Nightmare, Batman, and Lex Luthor, so at least 2 figures, yada yada, all the same. So this part can go pretty quick here. Let's get Wonder Woman out of package, and we will get a closer look at the very first cinematic appearance of Wonder Woman. Can't wait. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Through the power of editing, you would think that she was already standing with Batman in the last review. Yeah, she was. Before we get a closer look at Wonder Woman here, we will take a look at her Collect and Connect piece, which is not much yet. It's basically, I think, just going to kind of finish the Bat logo that Batman came with. So there are no instructions on how to put this together, and I don't think it's going to be overly that complicated, but I would have liked a piece of paper or something to be able to tell me how this goes together. So I think you can see the groove here, so I'm assuming that it would... I literally have no idea. Zero idea here. I think it would go like this, probably as to finish the top of the bat. So I'm assuming that it goes this way. It looks like it comes farther out. See, you can't get a good view of it. You can see the wings here, the scallops of the bat. There is a handle here for that's in Superman, that comes with Superman, this piece right here. So I think this must go out here somehow. So I don't think I could put this together. Yeah, I don't think I can yet. So I have nothing I can collect, but I really can't connect. And again, this is where Chapman Films would say, a dog vomit, because I can't tell how to put the base together. Can't tell. Or maybe it's as simple as I don't have enough of the pieces to be able to put this together yet. So we'll just kind of wait and see what comes out of this. So we'll find out. Let's get back to Wonder Woman here, shall we? All right, here is Wonder Woman out of package. And how cool is it that we're getting our first cinematic treatment of Wonder Woman? I'm happy. I'm on board with Gal Gadot. I think she's going to do great in the film. We haven't heard her speak yet, which I think has some people kind of worried. But I'm fine with it. I think she's just going to be just perfect for the movie. But that'll be a discussion for a later time. This is her action figure review. And how cool would that be to be Ben or Gal or, even Henry Cavill now, to know that you have your own action figure? How cool would that be? Anyway, I'm blathering here. Let's get a closer look at Wonder Woman here. I think she resembles Gal Gadot. Actually, pretty decently. I'm not going to say it's a spot on, but with as much much footage as we've seen of Gal Gadot and just the images we've seen of her so far, I think you could look at this and go, yeah, that's not, it's supposed to be Gal Gadot. I can look at it and go, yeah, it's Gal Gadot. Now, she does appear to have, I guess it depends on the light. I feel like this eye right here, depending on the light, it's moving. Like she's looking up, she's kind of cross-eyed, and now she's normal. So I think her eyes are actually pretty decent. In this light right here, it looks like she went, ah, I'm in a movie, but turning her here a little bit, it's not so bad. So I think it's just in the shadow of my light here. I think this eye might be up just a tick. I'm using the word tick a lot in my reviews now. But not horrible. Not overly cross-eyed. I think she's maybe kind of looking up in both eyes, but it's not as noticeable when, I'm, back in normal normal viewing mode here. The colors on her are really nice. I hope she is this vibrant in the film. The few images that we've seen of her and in the shots in the film looks like they kind of muted the colors of them a little bit, and I would like them to be brighter. I mean, that is a nice shade of red here. The shade of blue is nice and deep. I would say gauntlets or the boots that she has on here with the gold trim coming down the side are really nice. As far as the costume goes, I really hope this is the color that she is. The lasso here is tiny. I mean, not to say that it can't be coiled up as she doesn't have it that small, but I think it'll probably be a little bit larger. I'd have to go back to the footage of the trailer to kind of see if we can spot the lasso. And then again, this could be very accurate, and it is that small. Now, somebody going, her lasso's too small. It just may be coiled really tight. It's a rope, for crying out loud. This piece, I about call it a tunic, her strap that comes across her body is on a little bit stiffer material. I'm sure after she's been out of package for a while, this will probably loosen up, and having the sword in there will probably bring it down just a little bit more. The sculpting that is inside, or is on the chest plate, breastplate, if you will, of her top of her costume looks really nice. The bird that is on there is done really well. I mean, she's sculpted very well. I mean, kudos to Mattel. Maybe where they might have dropped the ball in Batman's texturing on the cowl, they have made up for in Wonder Woman's sculpt. This is for a Mattel figure, and I'm not knocking it by saying, well, Mattel, they did a really good job on Wonder Woman. Down to her straps on the back part of her boots, that her boots aren't a traditional boot. That is a warrior's boot, where it's kind of, two pieces that you kind of see here. So that's really pretty cool. The extra shading here. Batman had the battle scars too. So her outfit has seen some battle, as it were. The shield is sculpted rather nice. And look at all the symbols that are around here. I mean, this is Mattel. This is Mattel as far as accessories and attention to detail. They knocked it out of the park on this one. Regardless of what you think of the face sculpt, and when we get into the articulation, the lack of the head articulation, the shield's done rather well. Now, it was in the package kind of funky. It's a soft... It's a hard plastic, but it's soft at the same time, so it's kind of pliable. So it was kind of forced down in, so I've had to kind of work with it to kind of straighten it out. They didn't chintz out on the inside of the shield either. So they've got rivets that are in here. And the ornate detail in the clasps that hold on the armature that's the handle that's in here. So this has got to be straight out of the movie. And again, I'm saying this is Mattel. So they did a really good job on this Wonder Woman. I like it. Some people are like, oh, the Wonder Woman really kind of bombed. I'm digging her. Again, I do say it's Mattel. This isn't Hot Toys. This isn't NECA. This is still Mattel. So calling apples here for what Mattel traditionally does, I think they did a really good job on Wonder Woman. The face is pretty decent. And I actually quite like the face. The tiara looks really good. The paint apps on her face, hopefully my camera's not washing it out. She's got some eyeshadow up there. Her cheeks have a nice hue to them. I'm apologizing, my camera and my lights here for reviewing are kind of washing it out, but she has some definite shading here. Star Wars Black Series figures, not painted near as well as Wonder Woman is here. I'm going to say that right now. The paint apps on Wonder Woman are better than the paint apps on Rey's face. The hair doesn't really have any highlights, and this is where I'm taking points away from it. It is one solid piece of, you ain't moving this head, you're not getting any articulation whatsoever. So the sculpt that they decided to go with here on Wonder Woman, that I do like her hair, the way that it is sculpted, but it is impossible to move this head. So for the things that I do like about this figure, as far as the sculpting and the way that she's painted, I'll take those points away because you're not moving this head. She can't look to the left or the right. I mean, the hair, if it was a little bit softer, and we've had this problem with Mattel before in their female action figures. I'll bring up a couple here that their hair, they didn't seem to quite get it right till the line was ending, and I feel like they went right back here. I don't have the original Wonder Woman from the DC Universe Classics line. I have the New 52 version, and I think that hair is a little bit better. But like Mary Batston, I think her hair was really stiff and couldn't move. Zatanna's hair was really stiff. Poison Ivy's, I believe, was the same way. So, yeah. So let's take a look at her articulation. As you guys see, I've had the shield on both hands, although having the bird logo on so it looks right. If you have it on the other hand, the handle goes this way, so you'd have to have it upside down. So the sword is meant to go in this hand. It'll fit in both hands if you don't want to have the shield and you prefer Wonder Woman being left-handed, or excuse me, right-handed holding the sword. So you would think that she would pull it out that way as it would go in her holster, and it goes in pretty decent. So it's kind of floating around there. So I think with just a little bit of time, it'll kind of rest. So the head, ever so slightly, you could see that it is supposed to move, but it is not moving. Does not look up or down, barely. And I'm barely moves left to the right. Arms go up to a full 90 degree. Actually, almost goes above 90 degree, which is, one side goes up a little higher than the other. A little odd. Ball and socket, I think I missed that on Batman, goes all the way around. Turns up at the bicep, single bend at the elbow, a rotation at the elbow, rotation in the hand, I missed that on Batman as well, no hinge. There is a waist swivel, which I was kind of surprised by, and getting the figure out of package, I really kind of missed it the first time. No ab crunch, the legs go forward. She can get into a seated position, so right now, she is in her invisible jet. So I got the invisible jet with Wonder Woman. So that really impressed me right there, that with her skirt on, she can get into a seated position. So if there is an invisible jet, ha 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 ha, I guess they could make a clear plastic one. She would sit in it. She could sit in the Batmobile, because there is a Mattel Batmobile that is for the 6-inch action figures. She has the T-joints don't go out as far now because of the skirt, so as pliable as it was for her to be able to sit and do some kicks with, she can't do any side kicks. Sorry, Wonder Woman, don't mean to do this, but she has the classic T-jointed legs, as you can see. Upper thigh cut, hinge at the knee, single bend at the knee, and a hinge at the foot. So Wonder Woman is actually really pretty good. She doesn't want to hold on to like the actual handle of the shield. So now watch me not be able to get this back on. Don't really want to shut the camera off. Talks amongst yourselves. Rhode Island is neither a road nor an island. Discuss. So I've got the shield back on. I think the hand is actually upside down. So it will go in. I went in perfect the first time. So it's hard for her to like actually grasp it just because the way that it's twisting. I got the arm twisted funky. So, but she can use it. She looks pretty cool with it. We've already seen the Trinity in the Batman review, but why not? Let's bring Batman back up here. And there's Batman. That's all I have from the line so far. And like I did in the Batman review, if we bring up the Movie Masters, Superman here, which this Superman, he's always wanted to bend that knee almost as soon as I put him down. Again, having to be a little farther out from camera. Not bad. Not bad at all. If I bring Superman up just a little bit closer, he will appear just a little bit larger. So the scale kind of goes down. Starts with Batman. Wonder Woman's a little bit shorter, which I'm fine with. And I think the Multiverse Batman vs. Superman is going to be taller than the Movie Masters Superman. But for right now on my shelf, they're going to look cool until I get that Superman. And it'll be kind of cool to see if I can complete the collect and connect, and I can just hear me and my wife go, I didn't think we were going to do that again. The figures are really cool. I cannot wait for the movie to come out. And these figures are doing what they're supposed to get you excited for the movie coming out in March. Can't wait. All right, here are the Wonder Woman figures that I have. I don't have the standard DC Universe Classics Wonder Woman. This is the Unlimited line, I believe is what it was. So this is the only Wonder Woman I have, a new 52 version. Then I have my bow-legged Donna Troy here. So she's about even with the DC Universe Classics line. I believe this Wonder Woman was a tad bit shorter than her normal counterpart. I do have Star Sapphire here, which I think she was more at Wonder Woman's height. And she actually appears to be a little bit shorter than the new 52 Wonder Woman. With the camera here, she's a little bit closer forward here. So if I put her kind of just a little bit behind, you can kind of see their height scale here. So the Gal Gadot Wonder Woman is a little bit taller than the DC Universe classic figures that I have. I would really like to kind of see a size, but I believe a more truer representation. But I think the Star Sapphire figure is the original Wonder Woman's height and figure. Gal's face, now looking at the three of them, is a little bit bigger. Not too bad. They probably could have rounded and maybe not smoothed it, but kind of shrunk it just a little bit here. But I don't think it's overly that bad. Some people were saying it was a real poor head sculpt. I really don't think so. The hair on all of these, the Donna Troy hair, she could turn and look not as bad as Gal's. I had her probably off frame here. But even with the way that they did it, I mean, they get the hair sculpting pretty decent, but it's just in the head movement. This Wonder Woman, she was kind of problematic of getting her head to move because of the way it fell over her shoulders. And Star Sapphire was the same way. I mean, especially with her collar, her head doesn't want to move at all. So I think that's just how Mattel does it. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm making a pass at it. That was something that a lot of us collectors always had a problem with the female figures. The hair looked decent, but was not very user-friendly. Final thoughts here. I like Wonder Woman. There was only one at my Toys R Us, and I have a funny feeling she may be one per case, maybe two per case. They had quite a few of the standard Batman and a lot of the armored Batman, so I'm guessing it's probably going armored Batman, standard Batman, Superman with a couple figures, and then Wonder Woman. The Toys R Us was at had one Superman, one Wonder Woman, and the rest were Batman. Now, I am thinking I'm probably not the only one that bought figures there that day, so I'm assuming there's probably a few more Supermen per case, and I'm guessing Wonder Woman, just because she's female and they don't think boys collect female action figures. I'm guessing she's going to be one per case, sadly. So, today we've been taking a look at Mattel's DC Comics Multiverse line. I believe this is the first Multiverse line, and then the Arrow Flash figures, and with the Joker, that is line number 2 in Multiverse. But the Batman vs. Superman Wonder Woman, played by Gal Gadot, coming out in March of 2016. I cannot wait for this movie, and I'm excited to have these figures. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching these longer reviews. I know I had a lot to share and show here, but I want to make sure people get enough comparisons to be able to see how these figures are going to work in your collection. And as always, this is Rob for Rob's Rogues, signing off saying we will see you guys next time.